Greetings, everyone. This week's review is going to be Beavis and Butthead Do America, an overall masterpiece of the animated masterpiece of the 1990s, created by the great Mike Judge. I mean, that guy made some cartoons like along with Beavis and Butthead, and of course King of the Hill, Daria, among others. And I gotta say, it's a funny moment of a funny storyline of how Beavis and Butthead lose their TV, and they wind up stealing one from the school. And they meet parents by the principal goes like, "Oh, Beavis and Butthead, you're expelled!" And the old liberal commie teacher, Mr. Van always giving old hippie crap. And then there's Bruce Willis and Demi Moore voicing Dallas and Muddy, the international terrorist, and with an X5 unit. Man, talk about some messed up villainy. Only flaw with this movie was how Stewart and Daria weren't in the movie. I mean, everybody else is in there. Like, of course, the inspiration for Hank Hill, of course, being Tom Anderson, of course. Like, you boys always, ain't you the two boys always whacking off in my shed? Man, talk about how hilarious that guy was. Along with old famous Beavis and Butthead gags, of course, being the whole at the beginning where they had like the dream where Beavis and Butthead are giants and they terrorizing the town and all. And all man, those two dumbasses could come up with some shit. And woof, there gotta be some quotable lines in that, like, of course, Beavis and Butthead, you're expelled. It ain't you the two boys whacking off him that whack off that I catch whacking off in my tool shed. And of course, he got the other. Also, surprisingly, how the gym teacher who always channeled Arlie Ermy but didn't appear in the movie. And that, although it was a 80-minute movie though, but still. But overall, an an animated masterpiece. And I mean, a quintessential viewing for anybody for animated comedies and all. I mean, also excellent performances to Bruce Willis and Demi Moore playing Dallas and Muddy, and Robert Stack as the chief FBI agent, who was on their trail after they had the unit and all. After their first encounter with the X5 unit. And all those two idiots think they're gonna score with her. They're like, kind of like Butthead saying, "Does she have big hooters?" And of course, you can't have Beavis and Butthead without the "I am the great Cornholio, and he tippy from a bunghole" kind of deal. Because they have, "Are you friendly me?" And I admit with that time, kind of perfect time to review Beavis and Butthead Do America with all the Corona hoopla and the toilet paper shortages and all. Man, that's back to the movie and all, and how detailed old Mike Judge's animations always were, and I mean how they make real cars look like real cars and all, not like composite stuff like hybrid stuff like the Simpsons had, like. Although the Simpsons had excellent car animation too and all, from Homer's Cadillac to the Canyonero, but that's a little off topic, but still. And gotta give it to old Tom Anderson, Hank Hill or Tom Anderson being a funny relief and that, spoiler alert, but at the end where he gets framed for the X5 conspiring with Muddy and Dallas. I mean, and and all how they all travel all over America and all just thinking they're gonna score, and all the funny town lines like Butte, Montana, Meeteetses, Peck, White. Especially when they go from the old folks turd and the Dream America scenarios after they go to Vegas and all. And when they were in Vegas, talk about some hijinks there when they just stared at a whole statue going, and of course, old excellent performance by the current old lady of excellent performance by the excellent Cloris Leachman. Oh, I kept calling them Travis and Bob. Yeah, you boys play. You boys score any loose slots? thinking they say slot when they said sluts and all. Man, that's some funny movie right there. I mean, I mean, oh, masterpiece of the '90s, and of course, an excellent soundtrack from Love Roller Coaster, the AC/DC, and White Zombie, and of course the hippie teacher and his doing a cheesy Ingeborg Humperdinck song. That Joker had a weird name. I mean, come on, you can always tell when it's always the liberal hippie talking, come up with a song called singing Lesbian Seagull right before he gets Rodney King by Robert Stack. Stacking in his in the G-men, or technically ATF, but still. Oh, and how they wound up recovering the unit, and when they finally go to Washington and all, and constant encounters with Mr. Anderson and all. Which, of course, he wound up being framed and such, too. Right. Yeah. That guy was always, there's not right about that guy. And when they meet Clinton and all, at the end they're like, alcohol, tobacco, firearms. And an old scene where Butthead meeting the old Chelsea Clinton type going, hey, I know you got braces. I got braces too. Man. Man, if that wasn't one of the funniest animated comedies of all time, I'll say this much. And overall, a 5 out of 5. Although I did point out some flaws of lacking cameos from the series. But at least they didn't do like the musical segments and all. Where, like in the series where they had the whole reactive music videos and such, because that was the only downside of that 2011 revival was that and because in the 2011 revival, instead of music, and it was a lot more shittier music and those shitty MTV reality shows. God, MTV has gone downhill. Because in my opinion, Beavis the Butthead was the best thing, along with Eon Flux and Celebrity Deathmatch. Best thing that happened to MTV. I mean, MTV needs more animated adult comedies and less garbage reality shows. But overall, Beavis the Butthead Do America, 5 out of 5 masterpiece. Enjoy, people. And also got to give it a nod to the whole Starsky and Hutch montage at the beginning. Man, that was a epic masterpiece when they had the Torino karate scenes and all. And overall, I always had my theory of, they always do a couple of live action remakes of animated Disney movies and such, but How come they ought to do more animated remakes of live action classics? I mean, come on, anime Tombstone. Now that would be lit. After all, enjoy people, because Beavis and Butthead, Real America is a 5 out of 5 masterpiece.